Welcome to Cars in Korea. I introduce newly released Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia cars. And today I am finally here to test drive and test out Elantra N for the first time ever. I've already gone through the review exterior, interior, and also I've made a in-depth comparison to Elantra N full and performance parts versus my Veloster N, but neither on that video I was able to capture the exhaust note, the POV and the drives. Finally, I'm here to check out and test drive this car. This car is brand new. This car just came out from the factory along with the brothers and sisters over there, and it just arrived right here. Today's video and the episode is sponsored and backed up by Waco Corporation. This is live water filter from Waco Corporation, and as well as I'm wearing this wearable air purifier under the name of EOS, and they specialize in making filtration systems for both air and water right there. So that being said, do invest a minute of your time. Let me quickly go through what this purifiers and the Waco products are all about right there. And also don't miss out at the end of today's video. Waco and I will actually be giving out 5 of these, and I will also be giving out 5 of these live water filter, so feel free to check out how to apply in the description below. Let's go and check out this crazy long-awaited Elantra N.
10건 이상 진행하였습니다.
And you know, we can't forget about the exhaust note. So let's go back to back, Veloster N versus Elantra N. And they're both DCTs, but my Veloster N, it actually has a manual exhaust swapped and installed. Just the end, nothing else. So just keep in mind, my Veloster N DCT is actually a little bit louder than a stock one. And I'll give you the sounds in 3 different modes, starting from normal, sport, and N mode. That was my Veloster N. Let's get to Elantra N. I am speechless. You guys probably don't need me go through how these were different. So next time I will be actually bringing this car along with this car to the track, and I'll actually be having a race driver who's currently competing in Veloster N Cup and have him drive the car back to back and see, get some feedback from him, see how they differ, and also how they do performance wise. And one more thing, I am actually invited over for N, I don't know the name exactly, but I think it's N birthday at where the N deserves to be, the track. So don't miss out and stay tuned for that. It still has this white vinyl right there, and he actually added in this N performance wing, and I actually covered the N full N performance wing or parts Elantra N extensively, so go check it out. He gets this amazing carbon side mirror as well, and Michelin PS4S. The white, this seems to be the Amazon gray. They both have the same color right there. And is one of them a manual by any chance? DCT and DCT. Let me actually pop the hood and then show you and see what's underneath. All right, nothing special under the hood. The intake, the layout, most of the system looks similar to Veloster N's, but again, I mentioned this already on the earlier review. Second generation electronically controlled suspension. One would be for the comfortable drives and rides, where the second would be more stiff and geared towards a sports driving. And that is something that I've never seen on my car before. I don't really clean the engine bay. Like I said, I don't see what I just saw on the Elantra N right there. Instead, I have N Performance intake installed. This is an extra option. Overflew just a little bit, probably from tracking the car the other day. The carbon strut bar I have. This versus that. Elantra N DCT engine bay versus Veloster N DCT engine bay. And 2 more Elantra Ns. Look at that. Look at that odometer right there. It says 17 kilometers. I'm gonna fuel up first. As much as I want to keep this car like a brand new, straight from a factory like brand new, but I gotta take these off for safety precautions. Ow! Sorry, I gotta take this off because I am in a desperate need of a ventilated seat. There we go, much better. All right, let's go and let's drive this thing. I need to get on that one right now. It's what, 2 kilometers I've been driving the car. So even on the normal mode, this car responds differently. It just let me know that my headlights are off on off mode instead of near auto. This is normal, just gently cruising around the city. I can definitely feel that this is softer than the Veloster N. The way the DCT kicks in and engages, it doesn't really bother the transmissions a lot. You know, usually with that dual clutch transmission, you get that throwback and the kickbacks from shifting and all. However, there is not much of that. There is an RX-7, jeez, and Cayman. I can definitely feel, you know, longer wheelbase compared to the Veloster N. But this is just so smooth, you know? There is not that much of a pop and crackle on sport mode, unlike where Veloster N does have a little bit of, you know, the crackle sound on sport mode, but there isn't much in terms of the Elantra N. All in all, I think this is the true real deal. Jeez, this is, oh my god, this is super loud. No match to Veloster N whatsoever. So tap on the N mode, it goes into the full stack, full bars with the engine, steering, and suspension that is inputted like that. And the difference is, again, I've covered all about this in my earlier review and video, so go check that out for that detail. Today's video is mostly dedicated for my POV driving around city drives and runs. On the left is another mode that you can set it as N mode 1 versus this is like the N mode 2. This display that Elantra N's got, this completely changes everything. This is what makes, you know, this car distinctive from Veloster N the most. When I played around with this infotainment system right here, this was much more responsive than my Veloster N, that is for sure. The way the normal mode behaves is really closer to that of a regular CN7. That being said, it's like a perfect city and daily driver. So when you want to just drive it around, cruise around, and also, you know, you have 5 seat total. You can have a person in the middle, unlike Veloster N. So wherever you go, you know, this is just the perfect a family car at the same time as well. But the buttons are right where they need to be, direct, intuitive, within the you know, your reach, and you can sense, and I can sense that whole thing is geared towards the driver. You guys are probably wondering what this is. At the time of the development, when the CN7 or Elantra N was in development, they did intending on putting some of the details and information right here explicitly for N. In the end, the N line was the only thing that actually made this useful, because they have different drive modes here, but on a real legit N, nothing is on here, because everything was, they were able to integrate everything right into this main display right here, which is of course the best. You have all the information necessary about your car right in front of you. Let me roll down the window just a little bit and see what it is like. Jesus. The tunnel. Let's do it for the one last time. Normal. It's really quiet, as we can see. And this is the Sport. And this is N. Merging into the highway. So there is the N power shift. Check this out. Hyundai actually has integrated some special film that goes on top of it, so that it doesn't make that much of a reflection on the, you know, direct sunlight, and it is really visible and clear, you know, against the sunlight, even with, you know, this kind of a film that's on top right here. So peel that off, it's gonna be much cleaner and, you know, neat, that's for sure. I want to have this one on. That flat torque comes out from like 3,000, if not 4,000 RPM. It just bursts out the power. The torque is always there. Almost feels like as if you're driving an EV, where the EV, at the tap of the accelerator, the torque is already all there 24/7. This Elantra CN7's, the biggest difference from Veloster N is that torque, because you need to actually hit on your accelerator for Veloster N in order for you to pick up the torque. However, again, that's not the case with the CN7. That flat torque from like 3,000-ish, if not 4,000. If it were like, you know, similar to Veloster N, the pop and crackle would sound the meanest at second gear with a proper RPM. On Veloster N DCT, I kind of want to say that they were still, you know, maybe perhaps testing out the sound notes and whatnot. And probably the biggest difference comes from the length of the tip of Elantra N versus Veloster. Due to the wheelbase and of course the nature of the car being, the Veloster N has a relatively shorter tip on the exhaust compared to CN7. CN7 has at least double the length of the Velosters. And you see, when you have the NGS on, and this NGS, a cool down of 40 seconds. Let me show it to you. let's use that up. And the thing is, you know, on Veloster N, it takes forever to recharge because it takes 3 minutes. All right, so engine is off. Hit it again, you see? 40 seconds. 40 seconds is all it takes for the car to reload and recharge up and give you that extra 10 horsepower with 2 torque. What have you done, Hyundai? What have you done? So the logic, just the way the ECU, TCU all works together on CN7 is just nearly identical, I want to say, on these ends. Being a N owner, you know, Veloster N owner, I actually do have found one of the craziest way to make the pop and crackle sound, and that is, well, this is my little secret recipe, but I'll give it to you. Press hold N button. This goes into this mode right away, something that I didn't have on my Veloster N. As you can see, so you can also set this into N mode. So my little secret recipe is you go into the N mode. Just look at that. You can see the throttle, you can see the brake, you can see the oil temperature, you can choose tracks, you can have the pure sound coming off, or you can have the largest change. You come into the custom mode right here, and my secret recipe is engine sport plus. Steering, well, this all depends on your personal, you know, taste, but I like it on normal, especially on the city drives. And ELSD doesn't really matter. ECS, you know, I want to have it on. And suspension, normal, definitely. So it comes down to just pretty much this, you know, have the transmission on normal while the engine is at Sport Plus. And of course, exhaust sound is at Sport Plus. This is the meanest, the loudest exhaust combination that you can get. Let's see if that is the case with the Elantra N. Let's see how it is on my custom mode. You see? So that wraps up today's video. On my left is Elantra N, and on the right is my Veloster N. Both DCT coming out with 8-speed wet dual clutch transmission. All in all, I mean, I didn't have the time to fully enjoy the car to myself. It's the most comfortable N, yet the fastest N out there just yet. That being said, I'm really wondering, curious how the Hyundai will bring out the next N, this car being the maybe perhaps the last ICE internal combustion engine. I almost spent the whole day with this Elantra N right here. Hear that rev. Check that out. I had nothing but a fun, but a blast. Kind of feel sorry for my Veloster N. It's gonna be so much fun. And you know, for those of you guys debating on Elantra N, go for it. You won't regret any of it. All right, I'll see you in the next video. So let me quickly give you some of the advantages that this wearable air purifier has. Well, first of all, it's wearable. So that being said, wherever you go, be it the office, be it in your car, be it, you know, driving long distance, and also for students studying at libraries and study rooms and whatnot. So it's easy and accessible. And also, this is simple in every way. Be it the design, the way you recharge, it has the battery inside. So all you have to do is just recharge it every now and then. And also, I'll be throwing up the numbers right now, and you can run this many time and this many hours on different levels and modes. So there is the first mode, N-Ion will be produced right from here, and there's a second mode where you can turn it on. The N-Ion will be produced along with the fan running, so it sends the air out straight to your nose. And third, this is quite fashionable, you know, you can wear this around your neck and then have the clean air going through your nose, you know, 24/7 wherever you go. Lastly, it has an amazing performance in terms of it being an air purifier. because it has the 3 different layers of filters. The main filter right behind where my neck is, and then the third last layer is actually a HEPA, and the HEPA stands for that letters and words right there. So all in all, this purifies your air, and you guys are probably wondering, you know, how effective it is. I've been driving around throughout today wearing this, and I can sense the clean air shooting through my nose right straight from here, and it was just the perfect to wear around in the car, drive it around. And also, you can adjust the length using this leg right here that stretches in and out. And well, this is the filter that I talked about. This is where the main filter is. It sucks in the air this way and shoots out the clean air right up to your nose right here. So just you know, take this off, and then you see right here, there is this 3 layers of filter that I just told you about, back and forth. And the last filter is actually a HEPA. So right inside, it looks like that, sucks the air in and pushes out. And you see, this is like my second time. You know, I only practiced it before I opened it up. But then you see how simple, easy, and right onto a point this is. Already closed it, and then that's it. You know, you don't need to replace the batteries. It goes right to here. You use the USB port to charge up this device, which is all included in the box. And so right here, it's made by EOS, made in Korea.